We need two images, front as well as side separately. So I'll just crop it. I'll just make one folder. It's front and side. First, we'll concentrate only on the head part. After that, we can make the entire body. Side. So now we can just import that images. So go to front view. Again, remember you're not importing that images in the perspective view. So import that front view image on the front view. Put image and character. Front. And for the side view, import the side view image. Right, so just place it on the grid. So usually when you import, as you know, it will just go a little bit below as well as on the top above that grid. So just move it, place the character on the grid properly. Right, so now you can just move this. Right, so now you can see the image is imported and make sure it is exactly in the center, the front view one. So right now it is little moved. You can just place exactly in the center. Right. So now we can just start with the adding the meshes. So there are different ways. So like some they will do it with the planer and start extruding the edges according to this reference, and some they will use a cube for making the character. So it's up to you. It's not compulsory that whatever I teach you have to follow that itself. If you feel using planer method is simple, you can go follow that one, or if you want to go with the cube, you can just go with the cube. I usually use this cube. So I'll give the shape. After that I'll just start adding the cutting the lines and adding the lines according to that shape, and then I'll start with the detailing part. But if you want to straight away start with the detailing part, you can do that as well by using a planer method, by extruding the edges of that planer. So that also fine. So I'll show you both the method, but I usually go with the cube method. So first I'll show you this one. After that I'll just explain about that planar method. So just see which one will be easy for you. According to that, you can just work on it. I'll just take a cube, and of course, I need the cube should be placed exactly in the center because we have just placed the image exactly in the center. So I'll just click on this. So it will be imported. So now here, width, height, and depth, everything you have to make it 2. So subdivision width, then height as well as depth, everything make it 2. And then we are just deleting the half of the part. So this, as you all know, like in a previous semester I explained like how to make a low poly car. So I use the same technique, like just cut the off, do the remaining things, and once everything is done, you can just duplicate it and then merge the vertex. So same thing we are doing here also. So select this face, then delete it, and then just scale it. And if you can't see the line properly, you can just dim this image. So for dimming it, you can just select this image, go to attributes. So there you can see color gain. So that one you can just reduce it. Right. So even this one, you can just reduce it. Right. So now what you have to do is just make this cube. I mean, place that vertex according to that shape. Right. So just once it is scaled, what you can do, just go to vertex mode and make sure this line is there itself. Don't move this one. So only outer part you have to move it. So you can't move it like this and all. So it should be in the center itself. Only these things you have to uh, move it. So I'll just move it according to this here, and this one here, this one here, and here. So right now I can see, of course, we are not getting the proper shape. So for that, we need to add some loops. So that we can do it later. Step by step, if you do it, it will be easy. If you add the lines, everything together, and then if you start adjusting, it will be little difficult. So you have to work on each and every vertex. So instead of that, step by step, if you do it, it will be easy. So first you do it in the front view, and then go to side view. So this is very important. So we are working with all the views. So right now for getting that shape, we'll be just using orthographic view, but remaining when you're doing the detailing, so everything you have to do it in the perspective view. So right now we are just arranging the vertex. So I can just move it here. And this two vertex, I mean this one as well as this one should be for the neck. So follow the steps, it will be easy. As I said, and this one you can keep it here, this here, and move it. So as I said, still we had to add the loops and all so that we can do it. And one more important thing is you have to move this vertex little bit here. This outer part, whatever I'm selecting is outer part, so that you'll get that round shape. So roundness you have to get, and it depends on the character also. So some character will have a long face, some character will have a wide. So it depends on what kind of character it is. Right now this is like a baby face, so it should be rounded. And this
Um,
yeah.
Sir, a quick doubt, sir. So you
Yes.
took a cube and made subdivisions and subheights?
Sorry.
Made subdivisions and subheights, no, sir?
Yeah, everything I made it two. After
You're
that I did.
talking about deleting a face.
Mm.
Which side was that?
No, any side. Either you can delete the left side or right side. Right now I just deleted left side. But
Oh,
if
okay.
you
Then
delete
you'll
other side,
duplicate. Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
when
sir.
you
Okay.
duplicate it, it will anyhow it will come,
Okay, sir. Okay.
right? And here you can see this two vertex should go here because we have to extrude it for the neck part. So just move it here. So you can just extrude it down, right? And of course, when you're talking about other side, uh, two ways. One is you can just control D and scale minus X. Here minus 1 you can give so that it will be copied. But if you do this one, what happens is whenever I'm doing some changes, that will not affect the other side. But right now, whatever we are doing, it should affect the other side also. So in that case, this will not work. So you have to work with the duplicate special. So select this, go to edit, duplicate special, attributes, reset the settings once. And here, this is important. So if you give copy, so you can see, 1 second, special, you give copy and scale -1 when you give, it will copy. But the thing is, whenever I do anything, it will not affect this. So in this case, you have to change that uh, copy to instance. Just go to this duplicate special, change this to instance and scale -1 because we want to reflect it. And then when you give duplicate special, here you can see whatever I'm doing here, it is reflecting. So any changes you do on the one side, it will automatically affect the other side. Either if you're doing this one, or if you select this one and if you do it, the same thing will happen. So this one you can do it for reference, or if you want if you want to duplicate at the end, that also fine. So anything is fine. So it's up to you whether you want to copy it and do it, or just do one side and then at the end, once everything is done, if you want to duplicate, so that also can be done. Right. So now we have given the shape, and for the neck, as I said, you have to select this particular face, select this face, then extrude it. Extrude it, and little bit you can bring it down. Right. So once it is done, so once you extrude, you can see one extra faces will be added. So you can just delete that. And in front view, you can see that neck will go till here. So just go to vertex mode, select all this. and move it. So don't worry about the shape. So we are not getting that roundness. So we have to add one loop and then get that shape. So directly you can just move it like this. So this face also you can delete. It's not required. If you're making the entire character, then of course you have to extrude that. But right now we are just concentrating only on the head part. So just delete that face. So once this much is done, we can just take insert edge loop tool because we want to get that roundness. So you can add one loop here and one more loop here. And remember this particular loop. So whatever the loop you're seeing right now, this will be used for the eye part. So make sure it is in the center of that eye. And this loop will be using it for the mouth part. So this two loops are important. So by this only we'll be getting that eye shape as well as a lip shape. And in between one we have to add for the nose so that we can add it later. So now we can just give that shape, and this one you can use it for the forehead. And everything once you add the loop, so there itself we can just start moving the vertex. See, now we got that shape, and same thing have to do it on the front view. Whenever you're adding the loop, so make sure you're checking in all the views. I can't just work with one single view, so you have to work with all the views. So now this is done. So in front again we need one more loop, because on the head you can see you're not getting that roundness. So since there is no loop, so I can just add one loop here, go to vertex mode, then move it. So it's all about giving that shape, just moving the vertex and giving the shape, right? So once this is done, so you can see when I just make it smooth, you're not getting like a head. So if you just duplicate also, you can see it is not like a face. So you can see from top view, you can see it is like a box. But usually head means it will be the shape should be like this. That's what, as I said, studying anatomy is very important for the character design. So you can show it in 2D head top view. 2D or any head, you can just check it. Just search for this kind of head. And you can see it is not like a box. You can see it is rounded, not even a complete round. It's like a oval shape. It should be like a oval shape. So that one we have not taken a reference. So we have taken only front as well as side view. Since there is no top view, we have to manually do it. So for that, what you can do, simply you can just go to top view. So as I said, there's no top view image, but still, if you refer this one, according to that, you can just give the shape. So just simply what you have to do, just make it rounded. So you can see it is like a box. So just push all this, push this. Just give that roundness. And even this shape, you can see it is actually a neck part. So neck also you can make it rounded. Right, so now you can see it is rounded, and in front you can see it will be little oval shape. So here back side it will be completely rounded, and front it will be little oval shape. So forget about that nose part. So in that case, just see which is front. So right now this is the front part. So this is the front part. So here you have to make it little more rounded. I mean the oval shape. Now you can see it is not completely rounded. It is like oval shape. Right. Once it is done, you can just adjust all this. So these things and all you can't make out in front view or side view. So do it in perspective itself. So, our huh? uh, time on chip or 5:15 5:30 call. Right. So once it is done, so you can just add some loops here also. It's because you can see here again there's no roundness. So for that you need one loop here. So take insert edge loop and add the loop. I mean adjust the vertex and try to maintain the proper spacing between that edges and vertex. So it will be very clean and while doing the rigging and animation also, animations and all will come very smoothly if the line is properly flowing. If there is no proper spacing and all, so there'll be a problem with the skinning part, and also it will give problem in the animation. Right. So now I can say I'm trying to maintain this space, and here again we need one loop, but here it is little tricky here because here you can see that the jaw is there. So right now since this is a baby face, there's no much of jaw bone you can see, but still you have that flow if you give, it will be easy for the lip syncing and also when you're doing a lip animations and all, when the mouth is opening and all, so it will give proper flow. So if the line flow is proper, then you'll get that proper animation also. So here you can see in line in this image you can see that line is flowing like this. So in this case what you have to do is just add the loops according to that. So just you can just directly add the loop and then you can delete it. So take insert edge loop tool, add the loop. After that you have to add one loop manually here by using multi-cut tool. Take a multi-cut tool, just add one loop. So this is for the jawline. You can just delete these loops, and this one you have to connect it here so that you'll get that jawbone. So just take go to vertex mode. So there you can see merge vertex. In that you have target weld tool. So just merge it with this. And also it's very important in the character design, there should not be any triangles or five sides. So everything should be in quads itself. Quads means four-sided face. But here you can see one, two, three, four, five. Five lines are there, five edges are there. So this will not work. So make sure there's no triangles, there's no five-sideds anywhere in the character design. So that will again give problem in rigging and animation. So it's very important. So there is no triangles or five-sided faces. So now I'll just merge this. So now I can see the five side is removed, and also we got that jawline thing. So now you can just modify this a bit. I can see that roundness we have started getting, and try to adjust all this and try to give the spacing, proper spacing. So you can see it is going like this. So that those things you can just make it straight. And no need of doing the nose part right now. So later we can add the faces and then do it. And here you can add one more loop for the proper shape, and just select this edges and use slide edge tool. So there's one now tool called slide edge tool. So this means you can directly move it, but when you directly move it you can see the shape is changing. So we don't want that shape to change, only that line should move according to that shape. So in that case we'll be using this slide edge tool. So use mid mouse button and move it. So now you can see the shape is not fully changing. So it is trying to maintain the shape as well as it is trying to move the loop. So now this one you can make it little straight. So we can use this loop for the nose, and here you can add one more loop. Insert edge loop, add it, go to vertex mode, Move it. Of course, this will take a little time, so you have to practice more to get that shape and all. So if you keep practicing, definitely you'll get. So with one shot, you'll not get it. So it will take little time. So keep practicing and study anatomy properly so that you can do the character design properly with the proper anatomy. Right, and here for the neck part, you can add one loop. You can see it is not completely straight. You can see that bend. So just add one loop and bend it. So try to do it with low poly only. So later, while adding the detailing, you can add the loops and add more detailings for that. Right. And in top view also you have to do it. So you can see since I've added some loops, after that I didn't do any changes on the top view. In top view also we have to work, make it rounded. So then once it is done, just you can apply smooth by pressing 3, because after applying smooth you may find some mistakes. So in that case, just go with the smooth mode and then you can just work on that. So now you can see on this part, you can see it is not properly made. So it's like it's pushed. So just from all the angles, you have to check it. So once you're done with orthographic views, so go to perspective view and just check that thing in all the angles. Right, I think this will be fine. So little bit of sharpness is there, and always try to apply some shiny material so that you can make out the depth and all. So usually this kind of material we can't make out the depth. So always whenever you're doing any modeling, just take one material like this which has some specular. So if there is specular in that, you can easily make out the mistakes. So you can see if there is too much sharpness, you can see this kind of things. So you can just correct that part. Little bit of push and pull if you do, you'll get proper shape. It's so still the roundness and all you can give. So because since it is a baby face, you can see this part and all. So those things later you can do it. So right now we just need a head shape. So once it is done, so we can just add those detailings and all. By adding some loops and all, you can just give that roundness.